The following is an exclusive presentation of the Carolina Panthers and the National Football League. On this episode of the Panthers Huddle, the Panthers are in the driver's seat in the NFC South. Coach Canales is here to preview our final home game of the regular season. Plus, Thomas Davis breaks down the Seahawks in this week's film room. Welcome inside the Panthers Huddle.
Hey everybody, welcome inside the huddle. We hope you had a very Merry Christmas. Kristen Balboni, Panthers legend, Thomas Davis, and TD. Certainly a big present for Panthers fans. The Panthers had to have it against the Bucs here at home last Sunday. They come out, they win that game, and take sole possession of the NFC South. How did they do it?
Listen, they did it by getting it done in all three phases of football. Offensively, they did the job. Defensively, we went out, we got big stops in the end. In our kicking game, our kickers were phenomenal this game. Sam Martin getting the job done, 45-yard average with 2 inside the 20-yard line. That's great for us defensively. And then Fitz has been great for us all year, KB.
Well, a little Fitz magic, right? He's our Fitz magic.
Gotta love it.
All right, but let's turn our attention now to another big home game, the last home game of the regular season. That is what we're going to say, hopefully not of the season as a whole. And I want to remind everyone of the playoff scenarios. I think there's a lot of talk about beat the Bucs week 18 and you control your own destiny. There's also another scenario this week. I mean, if you win against the Seahawks, which of course is a tall task, and Tampa Bay loses to the Dolphins this week, the Panthers clinch. Of course, if you beat Tampa Bay in week 18, the Panthers clinch. And then there is a very interesting scenario, TD, where the Falcons win out. Carolina doesn't have to win those last 2 games, and then Tampa Bay loses against the Dolphins. So a little bit convoluted there, but multiple paths for the Panthers.
Definitely multiple paths, but this is a true indicator of what happens when you take care of your business. You win the games that you're supposed to win. Very important for the Panthers to lock in and understand how important this game is.
And it's going to be a big one against the Seahawks, but we got to talk about that fan presence last Sunday. Really the last 2 games, especially against the Rams and then against the Bucs. And we expect and hope for and want the fans to have that same kind of impact against the Seahawks.
Listen, I know that it's going to be great. I believe in this fan base. I have seen them literally make this stadium extremely uncomfortable for the visiting team. And I know that this game, with everything that's on the line, the magnitude of it, especially with Seattle feeling like and thinking that they have a fan base that dominates when it comes to making other teams uncomfortable, that is so big, because when quarterbacks are making checks, in particular late in the game, and a tight end can't get it, a wide receiver can't get it. You talked about the delay of games, you talked about the false starts. Those are things that allow us defensively to have a competitive edge. And once we have that edge, in particular, like I said, late in the games, there's nothing an offense can do when we are clicking on all cylinders. And my challenge to the fan this week, KB, is going to be, if we had 3 false starts, we need 6 or 8 or 10. We need to have an impact on this game so that these players are locked in. They understand and know that this fan base love what they're doing and that you guys are eager and excited about hosting a playoff game.
I love it. True TD fashion. If you got this, let's try to double it. Let's try to triple it. That is how you got to where you were in your career. Let's talk about Seattle. As we said, this is a great challenge for the Panthers and one that the Panthers have risen to. So Seattle, top team in the NFC right now, as were the Packers when the Panthers played and beat them, as were the Rams when the Panthers played and beat them. How much confidence does that give you as a player going into this game?
KB, we want all the smoke. We want to show, we don't want to do it by, they had the easiest record going in and they played the worst teams. No, we played the best and they got our best, and our best was better than their best. That's the thing that you love as a player. So there's nothing that can be said. Nobody did it for us. We went out, we got the job done on our own, and that's one thing that you have to love as a player when you take that path instead of an easy one.
All right, by the time this show ends, you're going to know everything about the Seahawks. We got Coach Canales talking about them. We got TD's film room where we're breaking down some of the biggest players. All right, we got much more coming your way in just a few minutes. But first, you may have seen the international flags that the players wear on your helmets. Right now, we're going to show you some of the backstories behind this.
right.
My name is Thomas Incoom, Chuba Hubbard, Princely Uman Mielin.
My name is Yash Nyman. I am an offensive lineman, and I am representing Suriname.
Nigeria.
UK and Zambia.
Ghana.
Putting the sticker on the back of my helmet on game day allows me to represent my culture. I represent my culture proudly because I think it's integral to the person I am.
I was very fortunate to be able to represent my country in Nigeria on the back of my helmet with a helmet sticker and be able to display my heritage to the world. Heritage is important to me to represent because it's part of me. You know, everything that came before me, my family, you know, my last name, it all ties into Nigeria. My heritage is so special because, you know, wherever you see successful people, you see Nigerians. We have a culture of successful people.
It makes me unique. Like, not a lot of people can say that they are born in another country. So it's kind of unique to my story versus everybody else.
The real reason why I really wear the flag is just to give hope. It's not like a common thing for people over there to make it to the NFL. So maybe there's some little boy out there that see my Japan flag and he can figure out like, wow, like Pat was over here, he grew up in the military and he still made it, like defied the odds. So I wear it to give hope to someone else who over there that they can do the same thing I did.
When they put on the helmet, I sent a photo to my grandma, and I'm sure she's proud of it. And same with the Chinese flag. When I sent it to my grandpa, I think he thought it was pretty cool. They probably didn't think that their grandkid was going to be in the NFL.
You know, I was born in Nigeria. My parents lived their whole entire life. Although I'm living here with my immediate family, much of my extended family is still back there. I think about giving back over there just because I have so many people and so much family that my parents are close with and things like that that are still back there.
Coming up, Coach Dave Canales joins Kristen Balboni in the studio to talk about our rookies, our fans, and more leading up to our final home game of the season on the Panthers Huddle. This exclusive presentation of the Carolina Panthers Television Network is brought to you in part by Bank of America, the official bank of the Carolina Panthers.
Welcome back to the Huddle. I am joined by head coach Dave Canales. Coach, congratulations to you and the team on the big win from Sunday. You now lead the division. How did it happen?
Just unbelievable belief, resiliency, overcoming adversity in different ways, and the basics, taking care of the ball. And you know, the Bucs gave us one at the very end, and that was the deciding factor in the game. And Bryce and the crew on offense did a great job of protecting the ball and making sure that we were able to play a clean football game. Couple of penalties, but cleaned up some of the things from the week before. Still had a few things that we can, you know, get better at, but it was just all around just good football, being patient and coming up with huge plays when we needed them.
You mentioned this in your post-game speech. We've talked about it plenty, but Bryce Young, 12th game-winning drive of his young career. What is the intangible quality that he has when the game is on the line?
Consistency, and regardless of the moment, Bryce stays the same. And he executes the play the way it's supposed to be executed, and he filters out and dissolves distractions, filters out external factors, crowd noise, moments, right? All the energy and all that sets it aside to just execute the play the way it's supposed to be. I love when we have him in those moments because he comes through for us in a great way.
Coach, when you walked into the studio a few minutes ago, the first thing you said about that game on Sunday was the fans, right? 3 false starts, 1 delay of game. Can you tell us how big that atmosphere is for the team?
It's incredible. We feed off of those things, and it also puts pressure on the opponent, you know, and I don't mind saying this, it puts pressure on the officials as well.
Yeah.
And when there's a questionable call where, you know, and the fans are aware of that and they start to make noise, it's like, hey, you're being held accountable right here by all these fans. This game means so much to you. But it is an advantage. It's an advantage for our pass rush on defense, the communication that the offense has to go through. And then for us on offense, when we make plays and the crowd goes crazy, it's momentum, it's energy, and we feed off of that type of thing. And it was incredible. The black towels waving and on their feet the entire time. It was a really special moment.
It really was, and the opportunity for another special moment here again on Sunday. Last home game of the regular season, Seahawks coming into town. We know that the Panthers are not afraid to take on and beat the top team in the NFC. First of all, what is that mindset as you go into an opponent that's got one of the best records in the league?
Great opportunity. championship opportunity, and we really mean it, at this time of the year. But these are the games where I don't have to say a lot to make these guys really get up for these types of opportunities. They understand what it is, but it allows us to see where we're at. We love playing teams at their best. We love to play them when they're rolling on all cylinders because it requires our best. It requires the focus throughout the week, and it requires that kind of execution on game day. So this is a great moment, another opportunity for us to become us and really learn more about who we are and what we can do.
Let's talk about Sam Darnold and Jackson Smith in Jigba. What do you see from that combo?
Chemistry, putting up historic numbers. I see a guy in Jackson Smith and Jigba who, going into his second year, first of all, he's one of these rookies that came onto the scene 2 years ago and made an impact immediately.
Yes.
And now what I see is a guy who's just continuing to evolve with the game with Sam Darnold, and Sam distributing the ball where it needs to be, taking opportunities, taking shots down the field when the opportunities call on that. But it just comes down to chemistry, and they seem to have a really, really good chemistry going right now.
And then in the Panthers offensive meeting rooms, what are you emphasizing in terms of what to look out for from this defense?
They have a really exotic approach for how they do things. Nick Imanwari gives them a lot of flexibility at the nickel spot. He's about the size of an outside linebacker, but he moves like a safety. And they ask him to do a bunch of different things and utilize him that way. A really talented secondary, but you got to talk about this front. And the front guys that they have and the depth behind them, it's pretty good. They have size and they have athleticism on the edge and in the interior. Leonard Williams, Jaron Reed, a guy I've known forever. It's an aggressive, penetrating style of front. Mix that with all the variety that they do in the back half. It's a really dangerous defense, and they play with the right play style too. So,
finally, I want to ask you a little bit of a bigger picture question. We have seen these rookies time and time again step up. They are difference makers on this team. And looking back at that game against the Bucs, how many of them made an impact? What can you say about this rookie class?
It's why it's important to play them early. And we live with the mistakes that happen. We live with the errors that we have to grow through. But every mistake that these guys make, it pays dividends down the road because they learn from it, they take steps forward, they grow from it. But it's also a long season, and to watch these guys consistently take care of their bodies, be pros, and be into the game plan, asking the right questions. This is a group that's really committed. There's a lot of great leaders on this team that have kind of paved that way for them and shown them how to do it. But they're stepping into their own, and this is exactly the right time for them to do it.
Well, Coach, we cannot wait for Sunday. We know the fans will be excited and bring that energy. We can't wait to see what the team does. Thank you.
Thanks, Kristen.
Up next, step inside TD's film room as the Panthers legend takes a peek at the NFC leading Seattle Seahawks on the Panthers Huddle.
Everyone, thanks for joining us inside TD's film room. And TD, as we break down the Seahawks, you always start with what we like to call the all-times guy. You say, this is the guy that the Panthers need to know where he is at on the field at all times.
Yes.
And of course, no surprise that today all-times guy is Jackson Smith and Jigba.
It has to be, KB. This guy is playing phenomenal football. He's probably going to be the guy that gets a lot of recognition at the end of the season when it comes to wide receiver rewards. But him and Sam Darnold have a connection that we knew that this kid was going to be able to have and be a special player coming out of Ohio State. And we're going to jump right into the film. When you look at Jackson Smith and Jigba and what he's been able to do, we're going to highlight for you guys right now. This is him down here at the bottom. And when you look at this defense right now, it looks like they're playing a quarters coverage right now, which in quarters, it usually leaves this corner out here on the island and him playing by himself until you get an in-breaking route. And once you get that in-breaking route, he knows that he should be playing heavy outside, KB, knowing that he has help inside from this safety. But as we get ready to go and we let this play out, right now, at the top of this route, he forgot or he didn't take advantage of having this inside help from this safety. So right now, you're going to see these guys. Jackson Smith and Jigba is going to press into him, and he's going to whip this back out, and it's a whip route is what they call it. But right now, Sam Darnold is going to show you guys just how accurate he can be with the football. Look at that timing, KB. Look at the accuracy on this play. So this is one of the things that a quarterback like Sam Darnold takes pride in, the placement of the football, knowing that he can put it where only his guy can get it, KB.
All right, let's talk a little bit more about Sam Darnold, if you don't mind. So certainly Panthers fans are very familiar with him and his time here.
Yes.
We saw him go to the Vikings, have a great season. Then we saw him go to the Seahawks. Look at what he has done there. As you said a little bit earlier, he got some money for his troubles there.
Got a little cheddar for it.
What else do we need to know about him?
Well, you talk about accuracy, you talk about timing, you talk about a quarterback being confident. Sam Darnold is playing confident right now. He's playing at a high level. But sometimes, KB, as a quarterback, you can get overly comfortable and confident with your ability to place the football in certain areas. That's what we have right now. And let's watch this play. Right now, they're going to do a great job of getting pressure on him. So right now, boom, you have a guy in his face right away. So they have a blitz where they have a guy off the edge, and then they have a D lineman dropping in coverage to take that inside slant window away. Sam Darnold did not anticipate a big man being right here. So what does he do? He's confident, KB, so he's throwing this ball off of his back foot, and it ends up well for the Rams. So that's one of the things. You can take advantage of a guy being overly confident and comfortable with their ability to place the ball where they wanted to put it. This is not where he wanted to place this ball, KB.
No, I would say not.
Guarantee you that. So we have to do a great job as a defense of getting pressure, making him uncomfortable, and I think that's something that our D-line is going to be up for that challenge.
They certainly are going to be up for that challenge. All right, we just talked to Coach Canales a little bit ago, and he said that this Seahawks defense has a lot of flexibility with Nick Amanwari, and you were going to show us a little bit about what he's talking about.
KB, it's so crazy because this is a kid coming out of South Carolina that we talked about in the draft, and I'm like, listen.
North Carolina native.
Listen, North Carolina native. He's a kid that's 6'3", 220 pounds. It's like, where is he going to play it? He got to be a safety. No, he's going to be one of those safety that eventually, with his size, he's going to have to go play linebacker because there's no way that you can be that big, that fast, that strong, and cover and do the things that he's able to do.
You know a little something about that.
Just a little bit. But, KB, listen, this kid is on another level with his ability to be able to cover slot receivers, outside receivers, running backs, tight ends. He can do it all. So, to me, he's the leading candidate right now for Defensive Rookie of the Year. And these are some of the things that they've been able to do with him. They can line him up at safety deep. They can put him in the box. They put him on the line of scrimmage, and like he's playing like a linebacker.
Will you show me where he is right now?
You know exactly. My bad. I forgot. I got to highlight. I got to show you exactly where Nick is.
He could be anywhere.
He could be anywhere. He's a player that can literally line up all over the field. But right now, they have him on the line of scrimmage, which you don't usually see from a nickel safety type body. They have him on the line of scrimmage. And to me, it looks like he's playing man-to-man on this tight end, but this is one of the things that you get to see out of a young player. You get to see some indecisiveness, and right here, he's in no man's land. He can't tell. To me, it says, okay, he has this man in coverage, so he's hesitant, like, oh, do I cover him? But you forget a different component. When you're coming from the back end and you're that close to the line of scrimmage, that was one of the things that I had to get used to and understanding. You got to do a great job of reading, running past. That's one of the things that we can take advantage of. But I talked about his athleticism and his ability to make plays. This kid, KB, is a playmaker. He makes plays all over the field. So even right here with being confused, he has that ability to get back down and make this play. He didn't stop the first down, but he definitely contributes to this team in so many ways. We got to know where he is
at all times. Another all times guy, TD. It is always great to look at this film and to know what the Panthers are talking about in the film room. They're having the same conversations as they get ready for this big Seahawks game. All right, coming up, the Pro Bowl selections were released earlier this week. We are talking about who made it and who should have made it from the Panthers after this.
Closed captioning for the Panthers Television Network is provided by Charlotte Eye, Ear, Nose, and Throat Associates, providing premier eye and ENT care to North and South Carolina.
Time now for our Coke Spotlight. And this week, TD, we are talking about the Pro Bowl, the good and the bad we are spotlighting. So first of all, big congratulations to J.C. Horn on his second straight Pro Bowl.
Hey, that's huge. This is what you get to see from a kid like J.C. Horn with all the talent on the field, healthy for a second year in a row, Pro Bowl second year in a row.
Absolutely. We are so happy for him. And like you said, well-deserved with the play that he has had this year, just absolutely shutting guys down on his side of the field. Mike Jack's not doing too bad on the other side of the field either. But TD, I have a bone to pick with the people that picked the Pro Bowl because Derrick Brown was snubbed, in my opinion, certainly in the opinion of Panthers fans as well.
Listen, he absolutely was snubbed. Coming back, getting back on the field after what he went through last year. DB, super disruptive, should have been in the Pro Bowl. And, I mean, maybe he'll get in as an alternate, but at the end of the day, he should have been on that ballot instantly with the play that he had this year, KB.
What kind of motivation does that give you? Because you've been snubbed before, too, wrongly.
Man, listen, it gives you so much motivation. It's not about going out and competing and playing for that, but as a player, when you go out and you play at a high level, you want to be rewarded for the level of play that you put on the field. And the way that he has dominated people this season, he should have been a Pro Bowler, KB.
Yes, he should have. All right, thank you everybody so much for watching. Thank you to Coach Canales for stopping by. And thank you to my incredible co-host, as always, Thomas Davis. We'll see you next time, but until then,
keep pounding.
You've been watching the Panthers Huddle, a copyrighted presentation of the Carolina Panthers and the NFL.